Okay, here we have Logic Pro 10 SM7B main mic, the Kemper Profiling Amp, the Apollo Duo, Princeton 65 reissue with a Celestian Gold, which is important, an Ox, Eventide Maxed Out Volante, Mad Professor, Tiny Orange Phaser, Pog, 808, Snow White, RC300, Martin Yada Yada, NT1A wrapped in some plastic because it hasn't been used for a minute. What I wanted to get at is a little, I guess, comparison of the Kemper and this Ox. So not really a fair comparison, except it is if you're someone like me, where when I ordered this Ox, I ordered it because I wanted to make my recording life seamless, easy, good tones, ready to go. I ordered the Ox, it was in the mail. My buddy said, "You are making a mistake. Order the Kemper." Order the Kemper. He said, "I guarantee you, you will return the Ox." So, as you can see, I still have both. I haven't returned anything here, which is pure gas. But what I wanted to point out here was if you're like me and you like, I use a clean tone. You could like any tone you want, but if you've got the sound you like and you get the Kemper, you're going to gravitate towards that. You can also explore many other, it'll make you play different because you can play through different amps. You'll play things that from records you love, which is super fucking cool. And when I make coffee in the morning, my daughter is usually asleep. I throw on the headphones, fire up the Kemper, carefree. It's not like firing up a tube amp. You don't got too much to worry about. And I sit there and I play guitar now while I drink my coffee, where I used to browse through YouTube or whatnot. But what I wanted to get anybody who owns a Kemper knows it's really tactical, and you can, get some reverb on it, get some delay on it. And you can control them right from the knobs. You can go through different cabinets or profiles on there just by pressing buttons, and you can twist the knobs and get the sounds you want, through EQ or tweaking, however you want it to start recording, because that's what I'm doing. No live music recording. So, and it works extremely well for that. If I didn't own any of this, I'd be, head over heels with the Kemper and completely in love. But I ordered both, and the whole point was that my buddy told me I was making a mistake. Order both, but like the gear I have, the Ox has an app on the computer where you can select different mics, pan them left or right, different cabinets. It's amazing. It's got effects in it too. The Eventide has an app which can go on the iPad, the phone. It can also go on the computer, right? So there's a trend here. The Apollo 10, or the Apollo Duo, which I record with, has a console app on the computer. Every time I launch Logic to start recording, I also launch this console app. And then I launch the Eventide app for all my effects, which it's maxed out. And then I launch the Aux app, which if I like the sound of my amp, which I do, I don't get the sound of Celestian Gold speaker once I'm going into the interface, because it's using cabinet simulations, which, the Kemper and the Aux are different things. It's using simulations, it's using profiling. They are different. Once you do a little bit of research, you'll understand that. I was very skeptical about the Kemper because I said, I like my Celestian Gold speaker through this. That's what makes it special. But the moment I plugged in this Aux and went through my interface, or with the headphones on, all the cabinet selections are amazing. And the mic selections, all the effects, everything you can do with it is unbelievable. Match that, easy, to access with a click of a mouse, a cabinet, a mic, whatever, with going to the Eventide Max app I can keep the pedal engaged, and with the click of a mouse add a flanger or a spring reverb, whatever. And Eventide has top-notch effects. And then I can start recording these sounds with my amp. I can even click my own phaser, which is the great phaser, or my Ottawa. You know, you can't. So let me deviate now where I was going to say you can't really match my sound of my Ottawa because I love it. It's a Snow White, it's hand wired, with what you're getting in the Kemper. So the Kemper is basically, let's just say I profile my amp, I put it in the Kemper, and then I dial up a delay. And I want my delay to kind of sound like the Volante. And then I dial up a reverb, and let's just say I want my reverb to sound like the spring reverb on my amp. And you know what? I need to modify it, and I need to add the Ottawa. So I'm going to dial up, and I'm going to try and dial in the sound of an Ottawa I like to the best of my ability. And I'm going to start recording. Well, that's already done with the aux. If you have a sound that you like I like the Ottawa, I like the effects I get from the Eventide, I like the Volante. The Volante is new. Delay for me is it's like hearsay. The one plus side for the Kemper is it's all going in stereo, which is super cool. It's a huge plus side. But Tiny Orange Phaser, I love that phaser. The Kemper doesn't have bad phasers, but like none of them are the Tiny Orange Phaser. So my only point here, and there may be someone like me out there, if you have a sound, like having both of these tools in my arsenal is completely awesome, and I would never put either one down. Actually, I can't put anything down from the Kemper. Or, I'm sorry, the aux. But the Kemper is more to me like a fun tool to record, create, you know, if I want to start recording and I don't really care, you know, too much about how it sounds, or I want to get some ideas down and I want it to make it sound great, just for fun, the Kemper is like where I go. But every time I get serious about my sounds that I'm recording, I plug in the aux because it is my sound. It's my amp. It's my pedals. And that's it. So Kemper's great, but like I feel like I actually acquired my own Kemper when I had the aux going, because it's basically when you access a effect from the Eventide on the computer, and then you access a cabinet on the computer from the aux app and the Eventide app, and then maybe you hit your pedal board. Okay, you're doing two different things. It's basically like selecting an amp on the aux or the Kemper and finding a reverb or a, you know, they're the same things, except the aux can capture what you want. So that's it. That's all I wanted to get out there. I know that I cannot be alone. The aux and the Kemper are a fair comparison. If you are saying like you have a certain sound and you want to get it into your amp, the aux might be better. Like if I could get rid of either one of these, which I'm not going to do because they're both amazing, but I would keep the aux hands down. And I've heard on the Kemper forum, it's the other way around. You would keep the Kemper. The Kemper, I love, like, mainly the stuff I play is like real clean and stuff, but I love Incubus, particularly the album Science. And with that Kemper, my headphones were on. Mind you, my daughter doesn't care at all that I'm like blaring a Mesa Boogie in my headphones and I'm just like jamming. Science, the whole album was recorded with a Mesa Boogie, and I just like sat there and played literally almost every song on the album in pure bliss. That alone is a reason to own the Kemper. There's plenty of people who are out there performing live and have like real world uses for it. That's like, I'm not denying that, but I'm just talking about like somebody who's looking at these two things for like recording your own kind of sound. when you dial in the Kemper, you're recording somebody else's amp. So like when I dial in the aux, I'm recording my pedal board, my actual amp, and I'm telling you, although I've recorded my amp into here with the SM57, profiled it into the Kemper, and it really does sound good. It doesn't compare to how like good and pristine the aux is. And I don't know what it is. I do not know what it is. The Kemper is slightly compressed. And I hate criticizing it at all because it's so minute that it's like, I can hear it every once in a while, that it's like every sound sounds a little compressed. But the aux is very natural, and you can make any sound you want. I could be saying the same thing about the Kemper though. That's just my point. It's just that if you get your pedal board set up the way you want and it's actually interacting with the computer the way mine is, it's almost like having a Kemper. Like you're dialing in things on the Kemper just like you'd be dialing things in on the Eventide and the aux to get your sound. So there you go. Over now. I really just wanted to get that out there for you guys.